bitches? What's up? Wake up. It's the morning time.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What is up, everybody? How are we doing today on this very amazing, I think, could be potentially, we shall see, Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. Happy Cinco de Mayo, if that is your culture and you are celebrating today. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Good morning, Oz. What is going on? How are you doing? Um, Tuesday, amazing, maybe coming down with a cold. Okay, all right. Those two don't normally go together, but if you're in the right mindset, you can turn anything around. Yeah, I thought I was coming down with something yesterday. Still like a little congestion in the nose, but it's feeling a little better today. Um, feel good. Just running out. Yeah, my nose doesn't run. It just gets stuffed and clogged. I am not a My wife always kind of makes fun of me ish a little bit, but we're just two very different people when it comes to nasal symptoms. She flows like a faucet and goes through countless tissue boxes, and then me, I just like snort it back up and get stuck and whatever. Wanted to let you know I really look forward to good. Yes. All right. You've caught the cold of daily dads. There are many of us that have came through here and felt the same way. In fact, I was one of them. Um, I didn't start this show. If you don't know, you probably don't because you weren't around. But I didn't start this show. So if you ever hear me or anyone reference Ryan or Blaze, those are the two original hosts, Ryan Turner and Blaze Hirsch. They're still in the VHorns community. They're hanging. They're doing their thing. They started this. They ran with it. They went actually every day of the week, 7 days a week for quite some time. And then I hopped on and became like almost like a third co-host. And then they kind of went other ways in life, had some life changes, some schedule changes and stuff like that. And it just didn't really work out for them anymore. But yeah, man, I was the same way. Like I look forward to it too every morning. I was in the chat hanging out, and then I was up here. It just became it's like a morning ritual for me. I talk about it all the time. Like I have a morning ritual that I go through every day for the past, feel like it's been 3, 4 years now, where, I start my morning as early as I can and I stay off of my phone, social media, all that kind of stuff, games, TV, what have you. Listen to a podcast on my commute to work. So that's like the most amount of phone I do while I commute. And then I sit here at this desk or in my home and I do a gratitude journal every morning. I do my daily stoic reading of the page of the day and journaling, and then I do the daily dad page of the day and journaling. And then this little show here has become the next step in that morning ritual. So after I do all that journaling, I start the show and I get to talk about it a little bit more. So it's like kind of like a theory or a what is it that Ryan Holiday speaks is just, it's not enough to just read philosophy or just write philosophy in your journal or in a book. We also want to talk about it with others in a same mindset, and then we also want to uh, you know be about it. So actually follow through with it during the events of our day. Good morning, David. I get two commercials before this starts for me. Yeah, what a bummer. It's a time thing. Unfortunately, everybody who comes in late just misses the bangers. I start this thing right on time every day, 5:30. I try my hardest. I think I missed it by like a couple seconds. I used to have this um watch face that would actually show me like the seconds and I could really dial it in. But then my watch started acting weird. So it frustrates me. And then I was just kind of, I don't know if anyone's noticed yet, but I was kind of setting up a little better background for y'all before this started. Um, give it a little bit more appeal than just that nuisance of a file drawer that was up on the countertop. So I got some Marvel pop figures back there. That framed piece is actually my contractor's license. Couple of Ryan Holiday's books, and then some iBen kind art in the background. We'll see how that goes. What's up, David? What's up? Reverie Bugle, Coach Beard. You have a military cadence. I do. All right. I'm gonna take your word for it, sir. What's up? Karen Camo Ryan, how you doing, buddy? How you been, man? What's going on? How's everything going? How's life? How is your wife, right? You guys are married. For some reason I was thinking fiance, but take the compliment and run. Yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. Um, could be wife. It's wife. Now I'm kind of circling back. How's she doing? How are you guys doing? Um, yeah, let's get into the show. Enough of these pleasantries. Going strong on the notes, man. I'm nothing if not consistent. That is my superpower. The one thing I don't have is good seat posture. I feel like over the course of the show, I'm constantly adjusting my posture. I don't know what it is about this chair, but I like feel like I sink into it, or it's just the way that my body sits in chairs. If any of you remember, the last chair I had was like a bigger, like brown leather chair. I used to always sink in that thing. It's not far away from me, but that one used to be weird. So I don't know what it is. Uh Funny enough, Anne Bag, our friend, she was saying that she says the word like too much as she watches these things and clips them and stuff like that. I haven't watched and reclipped enough to know what my ticks are, but I definitely know that sinking into my chair, readjusting my posture, and then looking from screen to screen at comments and my eyes kind of fidgeting. I would say that those are kind of like my things. Watch what you model. How do Broadway Rocky Horror Show members model? Is that how you took the title today? Doing all right. Today would be, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Today would be my mom's birthday, so a little down, but otherwise a good day. Wife is doing well. She got enrolled in college. Nice. I'll also take my test tomorrow for my GC license. Oh, sweet, dude. That's what I was just saying. Like that actually right there is my GC license. Good morning, Caitlin. And I'm out. Thanks for stopping by. Can't wait for your next break. Is that end of school year? And then we can have you a little bit more often in the morning. Hope everything's going well for you. Caesar, it's not Caesar, that's your last name. Always forget your husband's name, but it's fine. And little baby waffle. See you. Good morning, MP. This dude, what's up? How you doing? Loving the post. Love the more pictures of you and the family. Super awesome weekend. The couch is filling up. David, make room, dude. Make room, buddy. Um, but yeah, Ryan, I hope you're doing all right, man. And you know, that's tough. It's tough. I correct me if I'm wrong, but your mother did pass away recently, right? She was sick for a while, or maybe she didn't. And I'm sorry, but it's been a while. So I know that's a tough thing. I just went through that, or not went through that, but Brofit is another person who just went through the, I think, 12th anniversary. I think he said, yeah, she passed away in August last year. Okay, yeah, so this is tough. This is still year one. This is first birthdays, first, Christmas, first holidays without her. So that sucks, man. I'm sorry. Today in space finally made it in. What's up, Alex? How you doing, man? What's going on? Getting some new friends, some old friends, and everything in between. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. This is great. I want you guys to be here talking about anything other than my life and the reading today because I'm, struggling right now myself. So good morning to Alex. How are you doing? What are we thinking about today? Appreciate you. I plan on enjoying the day with my family. Yeah, that's the best way, right? Celebrate the life that you had with her, the life that she had, as you normally would on her birthday. She just unfortunately won't be with you physically, right? In spirit, yes. So thank you for stopping by. Appreciate you as always coming in here. And then I'm happy to help in any way that I can, which is barely any, but take your mind off it for a second. I'm thinking about balance. I have a busy month getting the next product for my business out and my first book. I just making sure I can take. I heard about that first book. That sounds awesome. I I saw a post. Auto my mod. Oh yeah, you can say MFer, dude. But excited as an MFer. Get out of here, Twitch. Relax. Um, it's good for you, man. Yeah, balance is a tough one. Balance is key. Balance is something that I absolutely love and think about every day as I, switch from mode to mode. It's very important to me. I want to say it was in a journal entry, but more like balancing. Yeah. Not enough hours in the day. Life is chaotic. Um, you know, you shouldn't be on social media or scrolling or whatever, but sometimes you just need that little break from running, 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 going, going, going. Uh, and then it just becomes harder to balance because you burn an hour or three on whatnot and next. So yeah, balance. Thanks for the reminder of balance. Did I have the word balance anywhere on my page of notes? I don't think so. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I already covered that. Normal work day for me yesterday. Everything was just like meh. We had some progress. My two little remodels are flowing. Schedule's going good. People setting tile. The owners are getting excited. Um, and then just kind of everything was smooth. No big deal. Um, Mother's Day is Sunday, guys. Don't forget. Okay, it's coming up. Uh, Caitlin, you're not here anymore, but make sure you remind your husband that this Mother Day still counts. You are a mother, so um, that's another one. And I am. Oh, I didn't see you said hi. I am avoiding the topic of 90% of the words on my page. Was that I'm just in a tough spot right now. My wife and I are not vibing. We had a little spat last week. It kind of got a little worse on Friday. This weekend, I was thankfully doing a bunch of gardening work, but it was awkward. It was tense. The energy was down. And then yesterday when I got home, it's like, let's say it's semi-recovering, but I think it's infected the rest of the family. Like, as you guys know, my two youngest, Brooklyn and Bentley, they always kind of like bicker with each other, and it's tough sometimes. I hate saying this, but it's really tough sometimes having them both in the same room because they just tend to like, I don't know, look at each other, glare at each other. Any of the things one of them is saying, the other one gets bothered by it. And as I was kind of writing that this morning and I was reading, the readings of today and yesterday, I was like, hmm, what I'm explaining about my kids sounds very much like what my wife and I are going through right now. Like we're not really liking being in the same room together. When one of us says something, the other one kind of like moans and groans or ignores it. There's a lot of that tense energy going through our house right now. And after reading today's and yesterday's page, I'm very much realizing that it's contagious. We're modeling that to them, this behavior. We're teaching them, don't spar with your wife. You just listen as they vent. Then they will ask you for your opinion. Yeah, it's the situation is just, something happened and I didn't handle it the right way because it was in the end of the night. And then, a couple days pass and I just let it frustrate me in a way that I shouldn't have. I took it, to a level that I didn't need to take it. And when I tried to recover and repair, like middle of the day Friday, I just don't think I was in the right headspace to clear it. Guys are always, and that's the thing is, that even came out like in the heated argument is like, I know that and I normally follow suit of that, but it can be very difficult to be wrong all the time. It can be very difficult to be someone who has lived a life and has made decisions, good and bad, and all that stuff, runs a business. People look to me for the answers, and then I come home and I'm just always wrong. The point system is rigged, all that kind of stuff. Um, my friend and I, Scott, we talk a lot about this kind of stuff. And one of the things we brought up the other day was, I don't want to get canceled for this, guys. The the things we do wrong in life and in marriage, relationships, parenting appear to be cumulative, and compounding over time, whereas the things that we do right, um, seem to just only, matter in that instance and do not accumulate. So in a week where you guys know that like we went out on this romantic getaway and we had really fun time together, just my wife and I. Um, Later, after we got back, we in the friend group booked a trip to Hawaii. Just all this stuff had been going right, and then one little mistake, one little outburst in the late evening on a Wednesday is I'm still feeling waves of that. So it's just really tough to kind of swallow that and just be like, okay, after all the good, we just like one little thing, one little pinprick, and we're in a silent treatment for like 5 days or something like that. So I'm gonna have to delete this recording because this is the stuff that I'm not supposed to do on here. I'm not supposed to be talking about marital problems. But this is what I'm feeling today. I won't delete it, but it's just these are the rough ones. These are the ones where if you've ever seen me in the past, like this is where I lean on my co-host actually, or where we would lean on each other. Um, I would quiet down a little bit and let them talk because I'm just not in the mindset, I'm not in the right mindset to parent. Like I said, one thing I can tell you for certain is that I can see it in my kids. The way that they were behaving yesterday, when I got home, we were all out in the garden, like the front. My wife wanted to pull some weeds out there, and then there's this weird, like almost tree that's growing that we didn't plant. So I, took the saw and or took the clippers and cut it out. And so we're all out there. Then Brooklyn came out and Bentley came out. And just the way that those two were interacting with each other was just it was tough. I kept trying to separate them. I kept telling them, like please, like just ignore your brother, ignore your sister. nothing was changing the situation, and then it flowed into, we finally finished our little project, went back inside the house, and we're all in the living room together. Mom went to go get Bailey from school, and the two young ones are still going at it. And it's, I know a little bit of it has to do, Bentley, he doesn't like when mom leaves, even if it's for like a quick 5 minutes to school and 5 minutes back. So, they just bother each other. And I hate saying, I hate, pushing it on Brooklyn, but she's the older one. So we always kind of, oh, kids will act it out and bend their own way. Yeah. She is the older one. So we do expect a little more from her than her brother. But at the same time, I'm trying not to like say that too much because I don't feel like it's fair to put it all on the older kid. The younger one needs to learn as well. And the other thing I don't like doing is telling her to leave the room. Like he's decently fine when she's not in the room, and then it gets intensified when she is in the room. She my two younger ones are very noisy. They like to make noises. They like to say random things and move their bodies a lot, and that's when I think they struggle with each other a lot. Is they get annoyed by each other's noise. They want to be the loudest one in the room. They want the attention, all that kind of stuff. And so it was a struggle. And then eventually I couldn't take it anymore. And I kind of raised my voice and said, look, I really need you guys to stop interacting with each other. Please, just knock it off. So thankfully it was just like, this is the thing I'm getting better at, is it wasn't a like full on Hulk out moment. Like there weren't like veins. I wasn't turning red. It wasn't a long speech. Um, I was sitting relatively calmly, loud voice, 1 to 2 sentences, and then that was it. Took some deep breaths afterwards, and we kind of just sat in silence for a little bit. When the kids fight, I just drop to the floor and ask them to share what is going. See, I understand that, and I would love to get there. I think we need a lot of work as a family. I just don't know, but I'll have to try it. Okay. All right, Mr. Nope. Oh, and then my daughter comes home and I'm in the gym working out. Bailey comes home and she comes out and she goes, Dad, guess what? My friend pierced my ears at school yesterday. And I'm like, cool. All right. Like, it's a yeah, she got it, like, she already has piercings, and I think she has one up here too, but she got, like, 2 done by a friend at school. And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome, let me see," and, like, looked at it, and she's like, "Wow, your reaction was, like, way more chill than mom and Brooklyn's," and I'm like, "Oh, well, you caught me in a chill moment." I had already had my outburst for the day, so surprise piercing from a friend at school. Kind of not, like, the thing you want, but Bailey understands, she's not too bad. My wife also ran before this. Wait, is this before this? Yeah, the first thing she did was like parked the car in the driveway, left the garage open, ran inside and was like, Dominic, can you check your American Express account? I think I might have gotten scammed. And I'm like, what is happening? Mind you, this is the most my wife has talked to me in like 4 days. So that sent us in a little loop for a while. Turns out she didn't. She just actually paid for like 2 separate Hilton vacation packages with rewards, or well, I don't know, whatever. It is what it is. We travel a lot, so it's fine. Did we talked about the reading, right? Enough. The reading today is everything you do is teaching them. Yep. 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 Our energy as a couple, picking on each other, saying little. Yep, this one's the worst for me. Little under the breath slight comments. It's just I'm so bad at that. Just that's the thing I try to work on the most, but the glares and the side looks, yep, 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 getting offended by everything, can't be in the same room. Yeah, like I said, that's been us the last 4 days. and I'm noticing it, and it's unfortunate what we're teaching our kids, but we'll get through it. Hopefully today and tomorrow. These are my early days home, so if I get home early enough, Amy and I get about an hour, hour and a half together. We can kind of hash this out a little bit, and I can apologize for the original outburst, and then the conversation where I was supposed to repair, and it just didn't go well. It didn't. I was trying to make some points. She wasn't receiving them. I think because I hadn't actually repaired the original offense. I kind of like wanted to just sweep it under the rug. That never works. Why don't you learn, Dom? Come on. Come on. But I'm a lifelong project. That's a quote from the Daily Stoic reading today is your life is a project. I would encourage that. Grab 30 minutes of just you and wife time. You pick what you want to do with it. Just be. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we need to sit and talk, is what it is. And for me, what it is that I'm struggling to get her to understand is it's not the little altercations. It's the underlying problem or communication system or relationship system that we have that allows the little interactions to like fester and explode. It's again the cumulative nature of the little interactions that like don't get like washed away. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm struggling to explain like how every time I, you know, have a little thing, the next little thing still has the power of and the weight of all the other ones. Um, that's my thing. Is that's the way it seems for me. And so it just seems unfair if I'm like late at night having a bad reaction to something that's going on, that it would have such power to transform the evening, the week, the month, the year, whatever, as opposed to just being like, oh, that dumbass just said something stupid again. You know, communication is two ears and one mouth. Listen and think before you talk. Oof. Come on, man. I know that, but that's impossible. It's very much a stoic thing and philosophy, and like it's deep in that. But I find a weird, um, you know, I say juxtaposition. See, I like that word, but I just don't know if I'm using it right to that sentence. In that, like, we also need to like talk to voice our opinions. We also need to, communication is very important. Like, I have to speak for my work. Like, sometimes I'll go into a meeting and I'll be like, I'm going to let them talk. I'm going to ask questions. And then, like, the people are so short that it makes me talk all the time. Uh, and I, what am I supposed to do in that situation? Like, what if the other person also follows that philosophy and they're like, I have two ears and one mouth, so I'm going to listen more than I'm going to speak. And there's two of us sitting together, both wanting to listen more than we speak. Good morning, Savvy. Good morning. Savvy, I'm not going to lie. This could have been a good morning show for you to be here at the beginning, but it also could not have been. It also could be a blessing to me that you weren't here in the beginning because I had some marital gripes, some stuff that me and my wife are going through. And on one hand, to have your opinion from the female side and the wife's side may have been good, but it also may have clammed me up and closed me down I don't know. Maybe listen to the recording and see how I did. Hopefully, I didn't say anything improper or bad. I've learned some techniques to get conversations started, but I've spent a lot of time in customer support, so I listen well, or I learned how to. Nice. I often move to solutions too fast at time. My brain works differently according to my husband. Okay, maybe. Yeah, could be true. Everybody's brain works differently, but yes, could be right. How many other wives in long-term relationships as your husband had? How does he know that? How does he know that? Come on. You're we don't know. Um I wouldn't know how any other wife's brain works. I only know how my wife's brain worked, and barely. Um it does. And that's what makes it special. Yeah. Exactly. Well, thank you all. But 16 plus years and doing something right. Yeah, of course. Yep. 16 years. Congratulations. Um, why do I feel like our that's no, it's wrong. The Jordan family. Um, well, guys, thank you very much for stopping by. Savvy, thank you so much for popping in. Listen to the recording or don't. I think it's somewhere you can find it. Um, I'd be curious. And we will see you back here. I will see you back here tomorrow. William Craig on Facebook. Thank you. I'm gonna go watch a recording. I think YouTube or Twitch. I think Twitch saves it. I'm not sure. But yeah, let me know what you think. Or if you have any advice or anything like that. There was some advice thrown in here. A lot of it was uh Dom, you're wrong, shut up. That's what I got from David. Just kidding. But we'll be back here tomorrow, Wednesday, same time. Come on in, hang out with me. Thank you. Everybody have a great, great rest of your day. Get your tacos, celebrate Cinco de Mayo if that's your thing. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
What's up, bitches? What's up? Wake up.